Hello, everybody. Welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime streaming show, where we puzzle over 16mm films, try to figure out what's going on. That last film, I showed part one of it. This is part two, and it's like 30 minutes long. And it's just compilations of street scenes shot from a car of mostly women and their legs and their feet. What is it for? Is the person who shot it, were they a private detective? Were they doing research for a hosiery manufacturer? I don't know. I'll let you and your imagination try to figure out what it is. And speaking of what it is, what is antimatter really? Enjoy.
Once there was a time when man believed that the earth and himself were the center of all creation. A cozy point of view. And quite reasonable to the average man watching the stars and planets wheel across the heavens. But one man, a Polish astronomer named Copernicus, proved mathematically that appearances can be deceiving. It took a while for the world to accept that. And since then, man has come to rely more and more on modern science to reveal the nature of the universe. Yet it is still possible to be deceived by appearances. Today, scientists think that there might be something radically different about half the stars in the universe. A difference impossible for a man to observe by looking up at a night sky. And even with advanced scientific equipment, it would be difficult to detect this difference in a star or one of its planets. There is, however, one sure way to tell. Should anything from our world come too close to one of these different stars, it would be instantly annihilated. Then he would know the difference. This different world is made of antimatter. Matter. All things on Earth are composed of matter. To understand what matter is composed of, we must penetrate the microscopic through the cells and the molecules until we come to the atom. The atom has a nucleus of protons and neutrons. In orbitals around the nucleus are electrons. Protons carry a positive charge, and electrons a negative charge. Neutrons are neutral, carrying no charge. All matter is composed of these particles and charges. But some scientists were puzzled. They wondered why the nucleus should always be positively charged and the smaller electrons always negatively charged. Could there exist an atom where these charges were reversed? The name coined for this reversed matter was antimatter. The existence of antimatter was predicted by mathematical calculations in 1930. Two years later, in the cosmic rays from outer space, the first piece of antimatter was discovered. As cosmic rays bombarded a cloud chamber in a magnetic field, a photograph was taken, showing tracks of the formation of two particles. One was an electron carrying the expected negative charge. The other looked like an electron, except it spiraled in the opposite direction, indicating a positively charged electron. It was named the positron. This was antimatter. Then in 1955, the antiproton was found. The antiproton was created in a particle accelerator, better known as an atom smasher. First, a proton was accelerated in a magnetic field, thus given energy. The proton was then smashed against another proton, releasing the energy. This energy was instantly transformed into two more particles, a proton positively charged and the antiproton negatively charged. Soon afterwards, an antineutron was discovered. So now there are anti-electrons, antiprotons, and antineutrons, all the ingredients necessary to form anti-atoms, which could form anti-molecules, anti-cells, a world made of antimatter. But the fact is, no antimatter exists on Earth. Within a fraction of a second, the created particle of antimatter will collide with a particle of matter. The two particles are then annihilated, turning back into energy. If a piece of antimatter the size of a baseball came in contact with the Earth, it would release the energy of an atomic bomb. It is conceivable that whenever a particle of matter is formed from the energy in the universe, its twin antimatter is also formed. Conglomerations of these particles could then form stars of matter and stars of antimatter, and possibly galaxies and antimatter galaxies. What if an inhabited anti-planet were found? Both science fiction writers and physicists have speculated about what might be found in such a world. One of the more intriguing ideas suggested is the concept of reversed time, anti-time. But even physicists are finding it difficult to understand what it means for time to go backwards. Mathematically it works, but physically it is close to impossible to conceive. Anyway, we could never visit such a world, for without a doubt we would be annihilated. But although we can't go there, perhaps antimatter could come to us. In 1908, a meteor fell in Siberia, witnessed by Tunguskan farmers. The explosion was large enough to burn and flatten trees in an area 32 miles across. From the magnitude of the explosion, investigators calculated that the meteor must have been gigantic. They searched for the fragments and remains that such a meteor would leave behind, but no trace of meteoritic material was ever found. Some have since suggested that the Tunguska meteor was made of antimatter. Until now, the existence of antimatter has been used primarily to help understand the nature of the universe and to explain strange phenomena such as the Tunguska meteor. But in the future, perhaps antimatter could have more practical uses. Consider the possibility of exchanging garbage with an anti-world. Not only would we rid ourselves of unwanted refuse, but we could derive a great amount of energy from the controlled annihilation of their anti-garbage. A source of clean, pollution-free energy.
Imagine a world where we can dump our garbage. Fascinating. I love it. Absolutely love it. All right, what do we got? We got so much stuff to watch all the time. This was the year I was born. Making an impact. Enjoy.
This is the way they settled things in the Old West, with sudden impact. But this isn't 1866. It's 1966. And I'll tell you something. You separate fact from fancy, and you'll find far more impact in the modern world than back in the days of wooden sidewalks and watering troughs. Back then, Jenny Lind appearing at the Opera House was a once-in-a-lifetime affair. Hamlin's Wizard Oil, a miracle drug, cures all pains in man or beast. The general store was the focal point of community activity. But this is another century. Entertainment, television, radio, motion pictures, stage shows, they all compete for our attention. Miracle drugs? Why, the list is endless. And they do work miracles. The Cracker Barrel has given way to the supermarket, the stagecoach to the jetliner. We're surrounded by a sea of wonderful products to buy, each made more appealing by modern merchandising and salesmanship. And that's the point. In a world crammed with impact, your voice has to be heard over all others. And so, welcome to Impact 66. Our theme, put more impact into our selling. And we're here to explore ways to suck home an idea, an advantage, a feature. Not just knowing an advantage, not just saying it, but putting genuine enthusiasm and fire into it, smacking it home so it stays remembered, making something come alive and be important. That's why today, in this once-a-year merchandising rally, we use the big screen. We move around. We dig under sheet metal and generalities to get at the heart of what we have to sell. Impact 66 brings you facts, demonstrations, ammunition for each of your 5 different lines of cars and full line of trucks. Your products are loaded with impact, but you have to pull the trigger. Watch. Just like that. And you know something? Your prospects expect and want you to use showmanship and enthusiasm when you sell. Oh, speaking of showmanship, let's see the kind of impact automobile stunt drivers put into their exhibitions.
This is Chrissy Katamaki, speaking for Chevrolet and your line of 66 products.
The place? The GM Proving Grounds, Milford, Michigan. The event? The 1966 Thrill of the Year demonstration program. The top cars in the industry, driven by the best drivers in the business, Joey Chitwood and his Hell drivers, plus the drivers from the Proving Grounds. And now, a pulse-quickening demonstration of precision control. Watch how built-in Chevy handling teams up with split-second timing. You can almost hear those bumpers click. It's that close. That is real ride control. How does your 396 cubic inch power plant stack up against the 409? Well, let's pit them in a quarter-mile drag from a standing start. The winner, your 396. The top speed, 92 1/10 miles per hour. That's moving. And so is this. Now, a punishing test of transmission and drive components, the rock cycle, a real torture test. Here's a look at the Turbo Titan 3, a multi-fuel turbine engine. A 6-speed automatic transmission, astronaut seats, twin dial steering in place of a steering wheel, the truck of the future, operational today. What happens when a front tire blows at 90 miles an hour? Let's find out. Perfect control, basic built-in stability. How fast can the sizzling SS396 go with 360 horses in a 1/4 mile from a standing start? The top speed, 103 5/10 miles per hour. Next, Corvette, flat out on a high-speed run. Here it comes, and there it goes. Top speed, 151 3/10 miles per hour. That's moving. Next up, a rugged test of suspension, frame, and chassis. Here goes. The toughest chassis design in Chevrolet's history. Yes, sir, your 1966 Chevrolet's in action. Showmanship on wheels. And salesmanship, too. All through the year and all over the country, Chevrolets travel the thrill show circuit, creating a strong image of rugged performance. These are the cars you're selling today. 66 models right off the showroom floor.
Now on signal from Joey Chitwood, it's action. Drivers to their cars. In true Indianapolis tradition, gentlemen, start your engines. Precision artistry in high-speed action, the ultimate in control as they utilize the full width, length of the stretch, scissoring high side low and low side high. It's high-speed touch and go, striking elevations, changing sequence over elevations 1, 2, and 3, high and low, low and high. An occasional tap of the brake and frequent bursts from those high-performance engines, utilizing both for control and safety. Now taking a car up on two wheels and holding, maintaining that point of balance. Now the X1 space rocket propulsion shot. Tolerances here involved in 1.5 inches on either side as they enter the breach area of the X1-2. Joey Jr. behind the wheel makes his way around the raceway. That critical moment approaches the breach area. He's in. Slamming down.
The sights, the sounds that spell excitement. Thrill shows that feature 1966 Chevrolets. Thrill shows that keep selling all year long.
That's quite a show, isn't it? And a lot more people are going to see the Joey Chitwood Thrill Show this year than ever before. About 10 million pairs of eyes will see it, because it's going to be shown as an action-packed short subject on big motion picture screens across the country. It's starting its run right now in first-run theaters. Now, this kind of action is one way to present 1966 Chevrolets with impact. Of course, you're not about to give your prospects a demo ride on two wheels or take a few ramp jumps. But isn't it true that you want your prospects to feel the full impact of your product? Now let's take an excursion behind the scenes and see the lengths to which advertising men go to put impact into your television commercials. Here at Fort Macon, Georgia, a brand new Chevrolet commercial is being filmed. A crew of 26 men and literally tons of equipment have been brought in. The crew will labor for 8 solid days to shoot 2 minutes of film. The script calls for a Chevrolet to be assembled right before your eyes without a human hand touching it. Can do? Yes, sirree. These fellas can do practically anything. Parts of a specially prepared car are suspended on invisible wires, and the car is pulled apart, piece by piece. Later, the motion picture film will be run backwards, so the parts appear to fly onto the car, as you'll see in a moment. The script also calls for parts of the car to come flying off a tree, while still others are to rise from the ocean. Oh, those script writers. For the final scene, an explosives expert has been brought in to plant charges of dynamite throughout another specially prepared car. All set? Cameras rolling? Fire! Now let's look at it as it was recently seen on Bonanza in 23 million American homes.
What you're watching now is the beginning of one of the most exciting things that will happen this year, the beginning of a 1966 Chevrolet.
And there it is, a lively, impact-filled commercial that will have plenty of people wondering how it was done. But you know the secret. 26 men working 8 solid days to make it. Well, that sure seems like going to a lot of trouble just for 2 minutes on TV, doesn't it? But what better way to dramatize all of the exciting elements that are fused together to make a 1966 Chevrolet? As a salesman, I'm sure you go to a lot of trouble, too. Digging into all of the many features you have so that you can blend the right combination of them together into a sale. Hours of work focused right down into minutes of selling. But that's what it takes today. Now, let's get back to some of those product features that you have to sell. How much digging have you done under the hood? Are you in a position to do full justice to a power plant as advanced, as efficient, as revolutionary as the 396? Do you have enough facts to fuse together a portrait of power that will sell? Watch.
And here it is. The sensation-making 396 cubic inch turbojet V8, Chevrolet's big engine for 1966. The biggest thing about it is an ingenious new design of exhaust and intake valve ports that really does something for engine breathing. Breathing is just as important to an engine as it is to a person. The easier it breathes, the more power, pep, and economy you're going to have. In older type engines like this one, breathing is restricted by sharp bends in the manifold passageways and in the design of the valves. But in the 396, Chevrolet's new aircraft type valve system and special port design produce straighter passageways, making it easier for the fuel mixture to get in, the exhaust gases to get out. Everything about this engine contributes to its greater efficiency. The way the valve stems protrude from the head at precisely calculated angles, which is the reason they call it a porcupine head. The bigger air filter, 40% more area. It's a terrific engine, and it's available in both 396 and 427 cubic inch displacement. And here's something else. Your special high-performance engines carry the same Chevrolet warranty as your other Chevrolet engines, while Fords and Plymouths have only a limited warranty. Your performance engines cost less than Ford engines of comparable power and equipment. Your engines have the axles to go with them to get the most out of them. This is the most advanced engine offered in any production line automobile this year. So now let's see it in the only way that an engine should be seen, in action. So open up your mind to the full opportunity before you and sell power in 66. Sell the new 6, the smoothest operating 6 you ever saw. Sell the 283 V8, the most popular V8 ever built. Sell the 327, more power this year. Sell that sensational new deep-breathing 396. Sell it in all 3 blazing power options, 325 to 375 horsepower. Sell the red-hot, power-punching 427, the street version at 390 horsepower, and the high-performance 427 with solid lifters at 425 horsepower. In 1966, your big story is engines. Demonstrate and sell. Sell the full range of Chevrolet power and performance in 1966.
Yes, sir. Whatever people want under the hood, you can give it to them. From all-out economy to all-out performance. You have the finest engine lineup in the industry. Now let's dig a little deeper into some of the many product advantages you have in Chevrolet cars and trucks over competition. But first, a word about the things that you're about to see. They're all based on cold fact. Fact turned up by extensive product testing. We brought a number of cars and trucks of all makes and models to the desert proving grounds in Mesa, Arizona. Our report to you is based strictly on what the engineers uncovered. But instead of confining ourselves to raw facts and figures, we're going to give them to you with a little showmanship to add impact. So, with Superstition Mountain and its fable of the lost Dutchman gold mine looming up out of the desert, let's start off with another fable, one that's been going around recently. A fable about a car. Someone else's car. Here's a little song about it.
I just put some potato chips in my mouth and then it ended. Lorne Greene narrates some films by Crawley Films, which was a Canadian film company in the 50s and 60s. One of them in particular was Social Sex, what is it? Attitudes. I can't remember. I'll try to remember. It's not about the genes, of sexual reproduction. It's about adolescents growing up and dealing with sex. It's pretty good. This, however, is about genes, but not genes alone. Enjoy.
Is that the reason that you prefer to do it on your own?
Very much so. I'm more conservative than she is, and I like to be able to buy my pinstripe suits. I must have 6 pinstripe suits of different colors, and that's what I like.
We are watching a seldom-seen ritual of modern corporate marketing. The men beyond the glass are the subjects of minute scrutiny. What are their habits? What makes them feel comfortable? What, in short, will make them want to buy a new product that the world's largest apparel manufacturer is preparing to sell? To them and to you. This week on Enterprise, Levi's, not by jeans alone.
I'm Eric Severide, and I predate the blue jean era. When I was young, they were worn only by farmers and laborers. They were work clothes. In the 1950s, the image of jeans began to change. Marlon Brando and James Dean wore them as symbols of rebellion. In the 60s, jeans emerged as a uniform of a generation, receiving a priceless seal of disapproval when they were banned from schools around the country. At about that time, Levi Strauss & Company began its rather lucky rise to the top of its industry. Today, it's the world's largest clothing manufacturer. But with over 500 million pairs of jeans now in the collective American wardrobe, and competition from designer jeans of all things, the market is both saturated and changing. This week on Enterprise, we will watch Levi Strauss attempt to end its dependence on dungarees before the fashion fad of the century begins to fade away.
San Francisco, home of Levi Strauss & Company. the largest apparel manufacturer in the world. In 1980, Levi grossed $2.8 billion, over 50% from jeans. Levi recently produced its 2 billionth pair of jeans. Sales have grown an average of 23% each year for the last decade. But no corporation believes in limits to growth. Staying the same size is commercial blasphemy. The jeans market is saturated. For Levi, the question is, what next? This is Peter Haas, Jr., Harvard MBA, son of Levi's chief executive officer, and the great-great-grandnephew of Levi Strauss himself. In June of 1980, Haas became general manager of a new marketing division, created specifically to introduce the most expensive and formal clothing ever to carry the Levi name.
How many are we?
The marketing director for launching the new product is Steve Goldstein. Goldstein, Yale 61, has marketed everything from ultrasonic plastic welding equipment to liquid yogurt to cold capsules. He's been with Levi for 5 years. Haas and Goldstein are charged with extending Levi Strauss & Company's name into a different and lucrative segment of the menswear market.
Levi's is in all kinds of businesses today. We make shirts, hats, socks, belts, skirts, blouses. All of them are in moderate price points. If we want to grow, we're probably going to have to go to upper moderate price points and somewhat higher taste levels for our products.
In order for a company like Levi Strauss to extend its sales and profit growth, we need to diversify, to develop new products. And this is a lot more difficult than it was when we were just filling demand for a 5-pocket Western jean.
Filling an existing need is one thing. Uncovering new needs is another. Levi Strauss has spent millions attempting to predict consumer behavior. Haas and Goldstein's new product is not based on hunch, but on an extensive market segmentation study involving over 2,000 consumer interviews.
We took apart the men's market about 18 months ago and examined 5 basic segments within it. And we really understood what's going on within each one of those 5 segments. The Q3 segment we call the utilitarian jeans customer. This guy is our old familiar Levi's loyalist. He doesn't care much about clothes, and he wears jeans for work and for play. He's a big chunk of the men's apparel market, about 26%. Q4, we call trendy casual. He's basically your John Travolta type. He buys high fashion brands. He loves to be noticed. He may wear jeans to work, but he really comes to life after dark. The Q4 occupies 19% of the market. Q5 customer, we've all seen, is a price shopper. His main concern is the price of his goods. He shops at department stores and discount stores, wherever the bargains are best. And we come to the 2 largest segments of the pie. The Q1, our mainstream traditionalist. The Q1 loves polyester. He's probably over 45 years old, married, a hardcore department store shopper. Most likely, he's a conservative, both in his political views and in his tastes. He likes to shop with his wife, and he values her opinion. He really is the heart of our Levi's Action Slack and Levi's Action Suit business, which at the moment makes up a good portion of all of the sales for the menswear division. The most significant thing about the menswear segmentation study was the uncovering of this Q2 segment. We call it the classic independent. The classic independent is a fascinating animal. He's a real clothes horse. He spends more on his clothes than any other group. He buys 46% of the wool and wool-blended clothing sold, yet he's only 21% of the market. Looking right is real important to him. His dress is traditional. Lapels are never too wide and never too narrow. He really likes to shop, and he really likes to shop alone, not with his wife or his girlfriend. He knows what he likes, and he goes to specialty stores to buy it. We're going after this guy tooth and nail.
And the bait? A full line of tailored clothing for men. Slacks, sport coats, and most notably, three-piece suits. The suits will be sold as separates. Jacket, slacks, and vest can be selected by the customer in his correct size, eliminating the need for tailoring. The cut will be traditional, not faddish. The fabrics will be wool and wool blends in conservative colors and patterns. $30 to $45 for the slacks, $85 to $100 for the jackets, and the three-piece suit will retail for about $160. Just what the target consumer, the Q2, should be looking for. The man in charge of design and production of the new line is Steve Schwartzbach, a garment industry veteran from New York. In August 1980, 1 year before Levi's tailored classics will be in the stores, Schwartzbach brings samples from other manufacturers to serve as models for prototype garments.
Are you going to make this garment?
Yeah, that's one.
Okay.
Now we want a belt loop garment, which is basically the Todd, okay, except that we want to drop the watch pocket. So it's a Todd. Well, I shouldn't say it's a Todd because actually there's no simulated top stitching.
A vital part of Levi's strategy is selling in department stores for volume sales, not in specialty stores where Q2 consumers habitually shop. The sales manager for Tailored Classics, George McGoldrick, has the formidable task of selling this new approach to department store buyers. The success of the line rests ultimately on the shoulders of McGoldrick and his 12 salesmen.
Well, the sales force is extremely excited. They've been very antsy to get going with this concept, and they know we have something that's potentially going to be some very large business down the road to come.
In 1850,
a television commercial will be crucial to the campaign. But the message will need to be very different from the casual image that has appealed so successfully to the Q3 segment, the jeans wearers. These ads mirrored the values held by young consumers in the 70s. Nonconformity and doing your own thing.
there was a stranger who came into our town. He was tall and had eyes that could look right to the bottom of you. Yeah, we're different, you and I. But aren't we different the same?
We put a little blue jean in every...
The commercial for Tailored Classics must be ready for September of '81 to coincide with the introduction of the line. It will be carefully designed to appeal to the Q2 consumer.
It will definitely not have a woman in the commercial, along with him as a support for his purchase. That would antagonize this guy. We know that. He doesn't want to have somebody telling him that he looks good or he doesn't look good. There's an awful lot of research underlayment that has to go on, and it's going on right now.
He's a Q2. He's a real true Q2. The other guy's a Q1 plus or Q2 minus guy.
In November 1980, the Tailored Classics marketing team gathers behind a one-way glass to watch their target consumers being interviewed.
Buy most of your clothes on your own, or... One of the statements, in fact, that I think you read out over the phone was whether you prefer to shop on your own.
I prefer to shop on my own, but I don't always have the choice I want.
The discussion leader is Malcolm Baker, an independent research consultant. The consumers are paid $20 to participate. They all match the Q2 profile in a preliminary telephone interview.
My wife and I don't agree on what I should wear very often.
Is that the reason that you prefer to do it on your own?
Very much so. And I'm more conservative than she is. And I like to be able to buy my pinstripe suits. I must have 6 pinstripe suits of different colors, and that's what I like.
Right. That's our boy.
Goldstein and advertising manager Leslie Schumann have arranged consumer discussions known as focus groups in New York and Atlanta, as well as here in San Francisco.
The basis of the discussion is a fairly new concept in men's clothing. This is a full line of traditionally styled men's suits, slacks and blazers, made of a natural and blended fabric. The clothes are reasonably priced, and they require no tailoring. What are your reactions to this?
There's a big difference between something that you take off the rack and something that you can have a little something done to. If you can spend $30 for something you can walk out of the store with, but if you can spend $45 and have them do a little tailoring on it, and it looks terrific on you, spend $15 more and look like something.
You're worth it.
Oh, you're damn right.
These guys do not want to feel mass-produced. If they are mass-produced, it's the last thing they want to be reminded of.
Was they're willing to put it on and compromise at the rack, but they don't want to be told that they can be fitted just like millions of others.
Right. It's in their minds that it can't be done, so it goes back to the ritual significance of having a tailor there and making a few adjustments that make it your own thing, so that your blue pinstripe is your blue pinstripe, and it's not the same as mine.
Well, we should stress the idea that in our separates, we can make the top for you. A suit for you, because the top fits your top and our bottom fits your bottom.
Okay, the final peel away tells us that this line of clothing will be made by Levi.
The party-like atmosphere in the booth changes abruptly. The use of the Levi name is a critical issue.
So the idea of Levi producing a line of traditionally styled men's slacks and blazers, that works, does it? You feel that Levi would do that well?
The travel agent is not so sure, is it?
Not happy. I think Levi. I think jeans. Yeah. And if they're making suits, I would have to be convinced.
What about a Jack?
Slacks are okay.
What about blazers? The sort of thing that Jack is wearing. Would you see?
I don't believe that would be hard. That would be easier to convince me than suits.
We hear the same thing.
Yeah, over and over.
It's got to be right.
Really?
It's got to be right.
Well, it's
slacks and blazers are the way to start.
Right.
While consumer research continues, George McGoldrick is on the road, presenting the concept of tailored classics to retailers. Stores need to place orders by February to ensure delivery in August, and the salesmen are eager to get started.
The only concern they have right now is one of price. We're going into a tough year economically, and we're hoping that the consumer will see the value of our garment and be willing to pay the price. We don't think we're going to have that much of a problem selling it to the retailer.
In early December, a sample from the factory is ready for approval by Steve Schwartzbach.
Does it feel big on you?
It feels large on me.
Yeah.
Okay. I have an awful lot of room
I think
in the middle.
I think the front of the coat is a little big. The back seems to be.
The back is perfect.
Yeah, I think we have to take that front in a little bit. If you were in the market for a navy blue pinstripe suit and we made these adjustments, you think that it'd be something you'd be inclined to buy?
Absolutely. Sure. No problem at all.
You in the market for a navy blue pinstripe
Always in the
suit?
market.
But it's not just any navy blue pinstripe suit. It's a Levi suit. And consumer perception of the Levi name is a prime topic when the Tailored Classics team meets for a debriefing with the focus group leader.
We had people saying, well, if I wore this suit and I went to work and someone said to me, hey, that's a nice suit, Joe, whose suit is it? And I said, Levi. I would not feel comfortable. And I think it has a lot to do with image and with convention, rather than the belief that Levi is not capable of making a suit that would function perfectly well and that would look all right.
So you're saying that maybe they would feel very comfortable about wearing it as long as they put someone else's label in it?
Yes. Yes.
What does that lead you in terms of what we should be doing in terms of that? How?
Well,
the message or
I'm going to talk about message in a minute, but my basic recommendation at the moment is lead with slacks and sports coats, and let suits slipstream. With the Levi image as it currently is with this segment, however positive, I think the image is still a little too casual.
You're absolutely right. The thing that's going to overcome the Levi's image for casualness, as no other thing can do, is a suit that's made by Levi that doesn't look like all the other stuff we've made. And once that gets in on the shelves or on the racks, there are going to be a lot of people who will put a little asterisk on the Levi's image which says, oh, and also they can make a good suit when they put their mind to it.
December 15th, the selling of Levi's tailored classics begins. Schwarzbach presents the line to buyers from Weinstock's department stores.
Continuing along in the same vein is our expression twill. Stretch, brushed, done in a whole host of colors, including basics.
After the buyers are shown the entire tailored classics line, the talk turns to Levi's wholesale prices.
Here, and here you're talking $15.90 for the slack, and you're talking $43 for the coat. Here.
The wholesale prices are higher than Weinstock's had anticipated. Retail prices will need to follow suit.
Big jump for the customer. Where last year we were at $28 on this slack.
I have to be leaving in a couple of minutes. I just wanted to come in and find out any observations or questions that...
Pete Haas is acutely aware that tailored classics are priced higher than the competition. He is beginning to feel nervous about his first new product launch with the company and is anxious for firm commitments to buy.
When do you think you'll be giving us paper, actually making selection and order, just so that we know?
Within 30 days, I would say, Jeff, you'll be finished up with all the...
Would it be
all
before then, do you think?
I'll have to decide essentially by February 1st.
Mel! You gotta get a new suit by Saturday.
No problem.
Levi's tailored classics is not the only game in town. A very similar line of clothes is offered by Hager.
Introducing Hager Imperial Separates for the no-problem suit in 100% wool and wool blend.
Hager's ad is not aimed at the Q2, but at the more casual dresser who needs a suit for special occasions.
Mel!
And Hager speaks from experience.
We've been in this business since 1926. We make all of our own products. We control our quality. And our track record, unlike our friends that you mentioned, they're a fine firm, but they were making another type of product, completely different from what they're making.
Levi's venture into finer clothing is certainly a risk, and initial sales are not encouraging. After months of optimism, doubts begin to surface.
I think about this a lot.
Well, you do.
Yeah.
I dream about it.
No, I don't dream about it, but I do think about it, and that is, we really have one shot at this. I mean, everything we do relative to this line has to be right. Everything. I mean, if we could only
Hundreds of thousands of retailers and consumers who are saying
beating the doors down.
January 5th, 1981. McGoldrick is having a tough time. Money is tight. Department stores are cautious. And the salesmen are getting discouraged.
Okay, listen, as much as we need to book those goods, I think you still have to get to Detroit. We've got to get placement in Detroit right away. You can call Dayton from there. And if they're not willing to give you paper right away, then maybe I can call them. Maybe next week I'll even come in.
Despite slow sales, pattern layout and cutting begin at the factory in San Antonio. Levi's contract with Burlington Mills gives option dates by which additional fabric must be ordered. If sales don't improve soon, the February 1st option will not be exercised. By late January, the sales picture is worse. 2 of McGoldrick's sales reps have quit the line. They aren't selling enough to make their commissions. High prices are blamed, and McGoldrick is feeling frustrated.
Well, I think it's a lot of emotions from wanting to punch someone in the mouth to wanting to leave and never come back. Hello? Hey, Mike. How you doing? I would spend a day here or spend a week on the road and come home and get a call at 11 o'clock at night. You know, damn it, I can't do this, I can't do that, you know, this one's throwing me out, I want to leave, you know, and then you got to say, now calm down, and you end up talking to people half the night to keep them going, because they have to get up and go out the next day. Listen, pal, you're number 2 in the whole region. You've done a phenomenal job. You've been thrown out of accounts before. We all have. Listen, this is one tough season.
Something had to be done. On the morning of January 29th, after much debate, Pete Haas made a desperate move. Daily News Record, the trade paper of the garment industry, carried the news. Wholesale prices were dropped 4 to 7%, and McGoldrick took immediate action.
The biggest department store in the United States is Bamberger's, which is part of the Macy organization. They, I knew, were going to pass us, and they are big. They were going to Dallas, Texas to work with our competition and place orders. And the day that Pete got authority to roll back the prices, I caught a 1 a.m. plane to Dallas, found these people in their hotel eating breakfast at 7 in the morning, 10 minutes before our competition sent the limousine to pick them up and save the day. I felt like the cavalry, you know, coming. But they flew right from Dallas to San Francisco, and they gave us about, good golly, it must have been $300,000-$400,000 worth of goods.
March 10th. The first selling season is over. The Tailored Classics team flies to Los Angeles for the menswear trade show called Magic. Magic is an opportunity for thousands of manufacturers and retailers to get together to display new products, to make deals, and to celebrate sales successes.
Sing a song, sing it loud, sing it strong.
Hager had done well. Sales of their Imperial line had more than tripled in the past year.
Long to go question mark.
But the Tailored Classics team is not celebrating. Despite the price rollback, they've achieved only 65% of their modest sales goals. Tailored Classics are not being prominently displayed at Levi's exhibit. The emphasis in the menswear division has shifted to a new line of washable polyester suits. This line is seen by Levi's senior management as having more immediate profit potential.
And does not...
Bob Siegel, Pete Haas's boss, is losing confidence in Tailored Classics. He has canceled plans for the television commercial and put all research on hold. Haas and Goldstein are fighting to keep the line alive. One of the major stumbling blocks is the Levi name itself.
The question of the applicability of the name to better merchandise is an unknown. And we'll never know that by just talking to retailers. Never. We won't. And I'd like to get it out and get it settled. I'd like to find out that it can't be. That it doesn't work. That this does not work with the consumer.
Upon returning from Magic, they decide to confront the dissonance between a casual Western image and elegant clothing head-on. The agency prepares an ad for the Sunday New York Times Magazine for September '81.
Levi's Tailored Classics. You expected rivets, perhaps.
I love the juxtaposition of a horse and an elegant man, and of you expected rivets perhaps because of Levi's, and you have
it confronts
exactly.
that issue directly.
So the selling of Levi's Tailored Classics moves forward, but at a walk, not a gallop. There will be no big television commercial. But the newspaper ad will run in New York. They will feature a sport coat, not a suit. They will try to gradually warm up retailers to their ideas and await the verdict from the consumer.
I would be much happier if this new business of ours had taken off and flown brilliantly, but, you know, that's business. Most new products fail. Most new products fail.
One feels a responsibility. Would have liked to have done better than we did. Would have liked to have had 20/20 foresight instead of 20/20 hindsight.
I don't see how we can come in like the Messiah and teach people how to make money that nobody else can, because we're new in the business, too.
But I think this, that if you never take a chance, you can never have a success.
You win some and you lose some.
In July '81, George McGoldrick resigned after 16 years with Levi Strauss. He was unhappy with trying to sell better clothing with the Levi name. He is now a national sales manager at RPM, a pants manufacturer in New York. Pete Haas has a new position. He has been assigned to the office of Levi's Chief Operating Officer. Steve Schwartzbach now has primary responsibility for tailored classics. It's really his baby now. Steve Goldstein has been spending considerable time marketing the washable polyester suits. He is every bit as enthusiastic about that as he was about tailored classics.
I can get enthusiastic about almost anything, you know. I can get enthusiastic about a cheeseburger.
As of November 1981, consumer response to Levi's tailored classics is mixed. Sport coats and slacks are selling well, but suit separates are moving slowly.
This program was presented by WGBH.
1981. Wow. That was glorious. Very much telling of what was happening at the time and the slippery slope into research marketing and all these things that just made, I don't know, I don't think made things better. I think they made things worse. So, and that was a kinescope. So it was, I think, shot on film, edited on video, shown on video, and then bumped back to film. But yeah, fascinating film. We were going through one of our storage units, and I found that. I was like, what is that? So I'm sure there's many that are in that series. But thanks for watching today. I very much appreciate your eyeballs, and I hope everybody has a great weekend. As a reminder, we'll be cranking up the 24-hour, 7-day-a-week stream right after this. So you can go over to twitch.tv/avgeeks, and you can see us there. I mean, I won't physically be there. I might periodically chime in and say hello. But there's lots of stuff that we show on there, and stuff that we haven't seen before. You can also support us by hitting the thumbs up button, or the like button, or the subscribe button. You can also use the super thanks in the comments to donate cash to us. You can go to patreon.com/avgeeks, and we have been delivering every month a special show just for Patreon viewers. And it's not that much to subscribe. It's kind of like a tip jar subscription. You can also buy us coffee at ko-fi.com/avgeeks. I've had 3 cups of coffee today, so that is why my hair is doing what it's doing. But everybody have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you on Monday. Take care. We love you very much. All right, now we're going to start up what I call the roulette, but it's really just the AV Geek 60mm string. Enjoy.
as I went through the...